Hi, so in this video we are going to discuss about Figma variants, Figma components and how you can make your Figma design process much faster and smoother. And also at the very end of this video we are having one simple design which you can practice for your prototyping skills. So let's start from the beginning. Like, what is component? So let me give you one small example so you can understand the thing in a better way. So for example, you are designing one website and in that you are majorly having two type of button. First one is primary and second one is secondary, and you have to use it multiple times, like 50 to 100 times, right, in a website. So without any kind of component, what you will do, like you will design one button and after that copying, pasting so many times a single button. But with help of that component, you don't have to do that. You just simply need to create one component, and after that what you can do is you can just like click one button and your button will be ready. And you can also create some variants of it. For example, there are two variants are there, like primary and secondary. Then what you can do is, for example, you have used the primary button in the website and for example you wanted to change it by secondary one, then you just have to click on that, and after that there will be one option, and once you click the secondary one it will immediately converted into the secondary one. So that's a great thing about component. So let's dive deep in the component thing, and also we will learn how you can make your prototype process so much easy with help of the component. So let's get into that right away. So here we are at my Figma. Let's deep dive into the component things. So for example, let's start from the basics by creating one button. So what you can do is just click on text, tap on the screen, right button or any text you want. After that, here is one quick tip for you. So for example, you wanted to convert this button quickly into auto layout. So what you can do is just press Shift and A, and this will create one entire frame for you, and you can just add the fill for it. For example, white, I am not liking it. I want something darker. So what I can do is I can change it from here. It looks a little bit nicer. And what you can do is, if like after Figma updates we are getting this little for toggle which is nice, and if you wanted to increase the width of that, what you can do is like you can increase it individually, or what you can do is you wanted to increase from both sides in a similar way, then you can just press Option or Alter, then drag this thing out and you will have equal increase in your width, which is great. So here you have created one initial button. Let me just lighten this background a little so it seems more familiar, right? There we go, here we are having it. So for example, here your auto layout is ready, as you can see, right? So after that, if you wanted to create one component out of that, so what you can do is you need to give one shortcut, Command Option K or Control Alter K, depends on your system, and your component will be ready. You can name it like primary button, and there you have it. So what is the benefit of getting this kind of component is, for example, I am taking one instance of this component, I am pasting it multiple times. Okay, so for example, I am having 4 copies of this exact button, and if I wanted to change it without any kind of component, then I have to change the feel of each and every one each time, right? At least I have to paste the color like this, right? But with help of component, what we can do is, for example, we are having this kind of thing and this is our master component. Then whenever I change color of that, it will magically change the color of each and every child, which is really great feature to have, and it will save a ton of your time, as you can see. And as well as, rather than color, if you change any kind of property of it, like increase the border radius or decreasing it, it all will be applied into each and every child of them. And also, if you change the typography of that, for example, we are going from General Sans to Poppins, all of its child have Poppins font by itself, which is really time saving. The major benefit is like its component with its variants, right? So today we are exactly going to learn that, like we are going to learn about its variant and kind of thing. So for that, one shortcut trick is what you can do. For example, make one copy of that. I wanted to create one secondary button out of it. So what I can do is, just don't go for my colors and all. I am just teaching you how to create it, right? You can use any of color you want and however you want. Just let me select the previous color and just let me make it a little bit bolder. Yep, makes sense. So as you can see, this is not an component, right? It is one child component of the parent component. So what we have to do is we have to make it also one component. So for that, There are several ways. For example, which I have told you before, like Command Option K or Control Alt K, that is also one way. Or you can just click here to make it one component. So here we are having another component which is separate from that. Now it having its own family and kind of thing. So we quickly rename this with secondary button. For example, you are having one frame, right, and you have selected one button. After that, you just quickly wanted to change it by the secondary one. So what you can do is click on this and you are having secondary button, and boom, you will be able to change any of your button or element by single click if you have any another version for that. So this is how you can also play around with your components, right? Like, as you might remember, it's based on auto layout. Then what we can do is, like, if you wanted to write learn more, then it will resize itself by your text, which is great, which is the power of auto layout, right? So if you wanted to know more about auto layout and kind of things, so just let me know in the comment box. I will create one separate video for that related to auto layout and its own power, because it's also very important and lengthy process, but it will eventually help us a lot and save our ton of time. So this is how you can like quickly swap between the buttons and kind of thing. But what another thing we can do is, like, we can select this both, and here you can see the option combine as variants. So once you click that, it will create its one frame, and after that you are having two separate components inside that one component called as component, and you can just name it like button. Like here you can see both of the variants are there. And also if you wanted to create one another variation of any button, then just click on this, you will have, and we can just quickly redesign it. For example, I don't want any kind of fill, I need one stroke, okay. And also let me give it a little of border radius. Let me do it same for each. Just give me a sec. Yep, we are ready to go. So here we are having three variants of button. This one is primary, this one is secondary, and this one is another button. So here we are having basically three variants of that. You can name each one. For example, here we are having primary, secondary, and let me just give a name like third button. But just remember that, like, you don't have to rewrite the property one equal to. You can just rewrite your thing after variant 3. For example, you wanted to remove it, and like third button, I am just giving it a random name. So here it named as third button, but just remember that if you double click on that, just don't remove it, otherwise it will give you some error. Or the easy way of doing it, just click on the button, just double click here, and you can just quickly rename it from here. It will be easier for you. So for example, now if I take this button out from here and if I click here, then I will directly have the three variants of that, like secondary one or third button one, which is great. So now you may say like, hey Smith, before also we are having this kind of functionality, so why we have created this separate variants kind of thing? So that was working before because we are having very less components in our component library. But whenever you are creating any kind of design system, then you might have like hundreds, 200s, or even 500s component in there. So what could happen, like you may have so many buttons, like I have mentioned only 3 of them, like danger button or warning or any kind of green signal kind of thing which you can have in your design system. So in that case you can get confused so much by that. So for that reason I will suggest you to get a habit of using variants as much as you can, because for example, if you are not having any variants, then if you create any kind of text field as well, then also you will get option to switch it by any text field, which is not good, right? You have to find out like out of 500 components, like where are my secondary button. But in that case of variant, you don't have to do that. Just you can create separate group and after that use it whenever you want. And also in variants you can design each and every state of each button. For example, if we select the primary one, then we can also design the hover state of that. We can also create clicked state or pressed state for that. So let me give you one small demo so you can understand that. So for example, let's remove this again. Just let me take one copy of that, but rather than here, I will like to have it here. Just you can drag it here. Just put that button here. Again, generate one copy of that. So here we are going to be a little bit of prototyping kind of thing. So for example, you want to design one hover state for that. So what you can do is just change. I am just doing it quickly as I was said before. So for example, if user will want that, then they should have this kind of like subtle blue color. with white text. Okay, and if they press that, then they should have the similar color but a little bit darker than that. Yeah, this would work. So for example, let me make one prototype of that. So just here we will give while hovering and smart animate. Okay, we should have 500. After that, also make one connection here on tap while pressing, specifically because we want this specific state to be performed while user have clicked it, right? So just make it instant and also do the similar thing like while pressing. And yep, there you go. So for example, let me create one another frame. I should not delete that frames. So now if you take this button out in this particular frame, so for example, if you run this prototype, then we are having this little button here. So if we hover in that, as you can see, we are getting our hover state, and if we click on that, like, then we are getting this on state, which is great. So for example, now the major thing comes into play. For example, you are having many frames like this, right? So what you just have to do is, once you have designed this kind of design system, then what you can do, like, go to asset, or you can just pull it out from here, or we can just take it from asset. And once you have this kind of thing, you just have to copy and paste. You don't have to prototype each and every time while you design. So now if you go to prototype again, then you will have some similar result like that, right? Which is a really great thing to have, which will save a ton of your time. So this is how we have created separate states for each and every button. So let me create all of the state for each and every button. So I am just going to fast forward this clip, so don't worry about that because I don't want to waste your time. So let me do that quickly. So here we have did our prototyping. So let me give you one demo how it is working actually, and also I have given all its separate names. Okay, so here let me take all the buttons, the secondary one, and let me quickly align it properly. Tidy up, Command G, Alt H. So let me run that quickly. So as you can see here, if you hover in this button, it will perform its hover state. Once you click this, it will perform its clicked state, and once you release it, it is back to its normal state. So this is how you can prototype each and every button by forward while you are defining the component of that, which is great thing. Like, you don't have to put so much effort into like prototyping and kind of thing. It will help you a lot. Also, let me show you the design which I was talking about. So let us create that quickly. So here basically we are creating one interactive calendar. So let me show you how, with help of the variants of component and kind of things. So let me create one frame quickly, pressing F, just press T, type any number, make it center line. So here you are having your primary state. Let me also create one hover state and one clicked state for it. So let me just grab one copy of that, also one copy of that. Let me make it component, Command Option K or Control K. Let me do the same with it. Here we go. So for example, if anyone hovers in this state, so what I wanted to do is I want to do a little stroke, a little bluish, right? This is what I want. And if anyone click on this button, then I wanted it to be like bluish color. Yep, so this is my basic 3 state which I wanted to include in my design. So let me quickly make this component variants. So let me also perform prototype as we have did for before. So just while hovering, just give it instant. You can or dissolve, whichever you like, but in this case I want instant, so just select that. And if anyone click on this, then this should be performed. So on click, it should be instant as well. Okay, so let's keep it as it is, and also let me do it for safety like instant. Okay, no worries. So here we are having one another component list. So what you can do quickly is just take one number, copy, and Command D till the 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. And also you can do for the vertical lines, just make one group copy, just paste it, paste it and paste it. Here you are having around 30 numbers. So here quickly let me rename it. So I have did it. So let me repeat it all in one frame. So here we are having it in one frame. Just let me run it quickly. And here we are having our calendar. So let me just zoom out a little. So here we are having one interactive calendar. As you can see, once we hover, it is showing one beautiful outline in each and every letter. And once I click on that, I am having all of the block here, right? So which is great. And also you can do one thing I just forgot it to do, like you can also make it reverse. Like for example, let me do it. So once you give the path to the original one on click, and now you will be, sorry Siri, I don't want you now. So here what you can do now, you can also unselect the selected buttons, which is great. So this is how you can create components variants, as well as prototyping, and there are so many things which could be easier with help of components. And I think all the things in this video have been clearly described. So if you think this video have added some value into your life, then please consider to like this video, and also let us know in the comment box what do you think about this video. And also if you have any comments or any suggestion or any kind of question related to auto layout or like any kind of Figma thing or this component and variant kind of thing, so do let me know in this comment box. So that's all for today guys, see you in the next one.